Welcome back. You're still watching Technoholik. Now, our gadget picks of the week were watch phones. What we have to say about the concept is that it's there, but it's just not there yet. The phones are not practical enough. But now that we've got that out of the way, plenty happened in technology this week. Siddharth Sharma wraps up the news for us.
Thanks, guys. Well, Tech World was all about a new camera series this week, some heated up controversies, and the launch of the much-awaited tablet this year. But first up are the new additions to the Canon IXUS series of camera range. Take a look. Popular for its imaging and optical products, Canon released a new range of the cameras in their IXUS series this week. The new additions are the IXUS 115HS, 220HS and 310HS. Canon IXUS 115 will feature a 12-megapixel wide-angle lens with 4x optical zoom. That 115HS will also be loaded with 1080p HD video and is priced at Rs 12,000. The second IXUS is called the 220HS. It will be loaded with a 12-megapixel sensor doing 5x optical zoom and full HD recording. The 220HS will be priced at Rs 15,000. Finally, the bigger entry into the new range is the IXUS 310HS. It will feature a 3.2-inch touchscreen at the back and will also be loaded with a digic imaging processor. The 310HS is priced at Rs 21,000. Well, the new additions to the IXUS range of cameras from Canon really looks interesting. Moving on, Apple is all set to sue its rival company Samsung for copying the design of both the iPhone and the iPad. Check this out. In the documents filed at the U.S. District Court of Northern District of California, Apple outlined 16 claims against Samsung. The claims relate both to the physical design of Samsung products as well as the alleged similarities between the user interfaces. The case relates to the Samsung Galaxy Tab and the Samsung Galaxy smartphones, both of which use Google's Android operating system. Samsung, on the other hand, say that its products are the results of its own research and development. This isn't the first time Apple has sued a rival company, and it sure seems like it won't be the last. Well, that's a controversy in making. And moving from one controversy to another, Mike Hazardis, the CEO of Research in Motion, got quite furious in a BBC interview when he was asked about the security concerns related to the Blackberry services in India and the Middle East. And here's what he had to say.
Because first of all, it's not we have no security problems. We've got the most secure platform. Why is that not a fair question to ask? Well, because you implied that we have a security problem. We don't have a security problem.
Well, you have an issue as a controversy.
No, we don't. We've just been singled out. Right? Because we're so successful around the world. It's an iconic product. It's used by business, it's used by leaders, it's used by celebrities, it's used by consumers, it's used by teenagers. I mean, we just singled out.
And when the BBC reporter pressed on the issue, he did this.
Right, so, it's over. The interview's over. Please, you can't use that word. That's just not fair. It's not fair.
Well,
sorry, it's not fair. We've dealt with this. Come on, this is a national security issue. Turn that off.
Maybe he just wanted to talk about the achievements of the BlackBerry and not about the issue related with the Indian government. Well, all was not bad with BlackBerry this week. They finally launched their much-awaited playbook. Take a look. Finally, the much-awaited playbook from Research in Motion was launched this week. BlackBerry enters the tablet race with this 7-inch tablet, pricing the 16GB variant for $500, 32GB variant for $600, and the 64GB variant for a $700 price tag. The playbook will feature a 1 GHz dual-core processor and will run on BlackBerry's own tablet OS. Playbook will also be loaded with a dual 1080p HD camera for video conferencing and video capture having 3 megapixel and 5 megapixel resolution. Along with all this, HDMI output, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth will come standard in the playbook. Well, there's been no official announcement on when the playbook will reach the Indian shores, but I'm sure whenever it does, Technoholics would get you the full review of the playbook. And that about wraps up all the lowdown on technology news this week. Back to you guys.
Alright, plenty in the news this week, and more importantly, Nokia is now getting banned from using pushmail in India.
Not entirely true. It's actually not a ban just about yet. The only thing is that the government has told operators before Nokia officially launches this service to the masses and everything else, and it's not a one-on-one registration-based service. they should make sure that this service can be intercepted, and it should be possible for people to go ahead and just go ahead and be able to record these conversations while they are happening and everything else. Anybody who's already using this service on their phones, who've registered online or with Nokia, their services are still operational. It's not been banned. It's not been blocked. But then neither has BlackBerry. BlackBerry has never been banned till date because the implementation of these bans is quite difficult. It's just nearly impossible to do across all operators reliably.
But what also we should think about is, did you guys see that interview of BBC? Mike Lazard is walking out of an interview.
Him disconnecting the interview.
Disconnecting the interview. I mean, what was that? You cannot expect...
Turn off the camera. I mean...
You cannot expect
it's the most shocking thing I've ever heard coming out of a CEO's mouth.
I know.
Obviously, completely out of favor comment, but obviously, in fact, the success, I don't know much, because last few months, they are getting pretty badly hit by Apple, Android, and they're losing their market share.
But in the US, not so much in India. In India, BlackBerry has still been growing.
No, India, BlackBerry is actually growing.
Yeah.
But in the US, they're getting very badly hit by iPhone,
by Apple, by Android, everything.
And the latest attempt, the Playbook, that's also received very bad reviews.
Since you're a BlackBerry user and we're talking about the Playbook now, I just have one question. The BlackBerry Playbook comes with no client for email. You have to connect the BlackBerry to do all of that? Come on.
So the reason why that's so is, first of all, because it doesn't have 3G at all. So it's only a Wi-Fi device. And it tethers to your BlackBerry via Wi-Fi.
Yeah. But it should have a native email client, correct?
It doesn't have a native email client because it wants to be synced with the phone.
They're treating the Playbook as an accessory and not a primary device.
That's the primary targeting at this point in time.
But then the pricing will really matter.
It's $500.
So,
which is too much, I think.
Which is too much. So, you see,
but an accessory, it's too much.
I think the BlackBerry Playbook right now is falling short of expectations, but we can't tell you that for sure until we get a full review of the Playbook, and that about wraps up this segment. In the next one, your favorite picks are coming your way.